Sagittarius. Welcome to your 2017 Life Path Forecast reading. So, I don't know. I feel like this year is going to be, it's like this ordained energy. Whatever you've been asking for, it's not like Spirit is going to drop it into your lap, but it's like you're going to have to ease your way into getting what it is that you want. And I know that sounds strange because it's like, okay, so I'm going to get what I want this year. It's more about like you being a little naive when it comes to all the work that's going to have to be put in order for you to not just get what you want in terms of like a job or accomplishing some sort of major goal or entering into a new relationship or moving on from it. It's like with where you are right now and your goals and your ambitions and just that feeling within your gut of you being ready to just move forward and to start over and to start fresh. This year you guys will not be feeling as tied down, and that resistance within yourself that makes you doubt yourself and sabotage yourself. I just feel like you guys are getting out of your way. And if you have been struggling with like getting off the couch or going for what it is that you want, you're going to have much more passion, much more ambition, much more energy this year. But with this energy or with this vision of you kind of being ordained, it's like knighthood. So Spirit, and it goes back to the reading about, I think that was in November, was it in December? I don't know, I can't remember, but about you guys, the gate being open for you guys, and Spirit is like, go for it. What are you waiting for? What are you so afraid of? Go for it. And it's like many of you have crossed that bridge to feeling like, okay, I'm going to get on top of this horse and I'm going to just take my little gumption, my little dreams, my little goals, my little passion, and my little vision, you know, because you guys are ruled by Jupiter. So you just have this natural sense of direction when it comes to your life. You don't really try to plan everything out, and that's a virtue for you, but it feels like you're going to be walking into what it is that you've been asking for, or some sort of opportunity is going to be presented to you, and it's going to be kind of big. And I don't think that you're aware of how ready you are to take this on, but I feel like you're going to feel confident about it. But you're going to learn a lot of lessons when it comes to just like how naive you actually are, and how, you know, I don't know if this has to do with just, you know, Saturn being in Sagittarius, but it's time for you guys to resting on your Jupiterian laurels, because it's going to be a lot of work, but it will pay off. That's the beautiful thing. Now, this could be pertaining to a relationship, going back to school, whatever. You know, you'll know what it is as the year goes on. But it feels like you should already know what I'm talking about, because this is related to something that you've always wanted. But for some reason, maybe in 2016, for the past couple of years, life was kind of getting in the way of you going after what it is that you want. But now that thing is going to be eliminated. That's what this energy is, of you guys being ordained, this kind of knighthood kind of energy. And Spirit is saying, okay, you can do this. But you know, when I think about a knight, they're not usually with a lot of other people, and they don't really have a lot of backup. So I see you guys starting something off strong, or just starting the year off strong. And this just could pertain to 2017, and how you guys are going to just feel much more empowered and ready to face any challenge that's going to come this year. That's just this energy of knighthood. But it is this feeling of having to, I think that you're going to find that you're in one battle after another. But know that it's Spirit just strengthening your or building up your self-confidence so that you can be ready for what it is that you're asking for towards the end of the year or towards the middle of the year. It just depends on how you go about facing the challenges that I have to face this year. It's about you. It's just 2017 is not a time for you to be looking back wondering if you made a mistake, because it is going to be challenging, but it is going to be rewarding, but not in the way of Scorpio. It's just more about, easy part is that you're going to get what you want, but the difficulty is going to be you realizing that you just can't, I don't know, just don't get intimidated by the success that you can accomplish this year. It's like, I really don't see a lot of roadblocks for you guys. And sometimes, you know, too much freedom can really show us how afraid we really are, and how we think we have it all figured out. But when Spirit, you know, and how we love to complain when the universe doesn't open up a door. But when the universe just opens up the floodgates, we really see just how scary we really are. So Spirit is ordaining you. They're saying you've got a mission to accomplish this year. You already know what it is. I feel like many of you have been working towards it, or it's some sort of dream that you put off because you had kids or something, but they're ordaining you. They're holding you responsible for making something of yourself this year. Make something of yourself. Do something with your life. You need to get out of the house. You need to get out of this rut. You need to get out of that relationship that's holding you back. You need to get out there in the world and do something. They're very clear on that. Spirit, what do you want Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings to know about their past, present, and future? Got the Two of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Ten of Swords, with the overall energy of the Emperor. So this is them telling you, you need to take control of your life. I don't care if your job is nice right now. You need to stop being complacent. You need to think about your future. Come on now, you're ruled by Jupiter. You need to stop sitting and looking out into the distance and saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, but stop procrastinating. You've been saying you wanted to do something for the last 6 years. If you want to accomplish it, this is your year. And it's not about them saying, if you don't accomplish it this year, you're not going to accomplish it. But this year is when you can wrap something up. When you need to wrap something up. If you've been dragging it out, or if you've been just insecure and feeling like you're not ready. Whatever it is. Spirit is saying do it this year. Stop wasting your time. Because we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is about hard work. Planting seeds. Watching them grow. Taking your time. And it really goes back to you guys and the whole knighthood thing. And this is the knight who is, he's really by himself. Like the earth signs could really, you know, you guys are a fire sign. So more or less you are the Knight of Wands. You're usually, you know, like I said, not wanting to be tied down to responsibilities. And you just like your freedom to be able to come and go. But Spirit is like, you're going to have to hunker down, Sagittarius. You're going to have to get some plans in order. You're going to have to take control of your life this year. You're going to have to be patient. Your hands are going to be a little full. And this year may not be as fun. Because here we have the Nine of Swords. So this is about you just feeling kind of like, again, with this ordained energy being here. And this Emperor being here. He has a responsibility and a duty to rule his empire. Your empire is your life. And then underneath that, and I don't know why I'm pulling all of these cards, but we've got the Empress. So this is about you taking your relationships more seriously. You taking school more seriously. You know, getting a degree or not getting a degree. But either way, making your mind up. They want you to make your mind up. Stop just living in this fairy tale la-la land. So where you feel like you can just change your mind every 5 seconds. Commit to something. That's what this Knight of Pentacles is telling you to do in the present position. And know that it is going to take a while. And with this Ten of Swords being in the near future, this is about you feeling like, well, what the hell? This Two of Wands in the past, it feels like in the past you were just used to deciding that this is what you wanted to do and not really caring too much about how it would affect other people. See, because the Emperor, he has not just a kingdom to look after, he has an empire. And he knows the role that he plays. He accepts his responsibility. And he takes charge, but not in this arrogant, egotistical way. He's humble. If you can see, he doesn't have all of these like lush things behind him. The Empress does. He plays his position so that his wife, the Empress, can have what she needs. But he doesn't really think too much about himself. He's been through a lot, and his experiences serve as his strength. To be the Emperor, to take control of his life, and to sit out there by himself with the help of no one, and to stand firm on the fact that this is my life and nobody else is going to save me. Nobody else, like I can't just keep saying what I'm going to do, but then never move my feet in any sort of direction. And I feel like many of you are kind of looking out into the distance and wondering if the grass is greener on the other side. 2017 is about you not being able to go see it. And I think that with this Knight of Pentacles being here, it's about the long road. Just like we're all going to have to take the long road. But for you guys, I feel like it's going to be a little, it's going to just beat you up a little bit mentally. And you're going to feel like this year is just kind of bogging you down. It's going to be a good year. You're going to be able to to see that certain dreams, certain things that you wanted, that the doors are open for you. And you are going to walk through them. And working at that job that you said you wanted to work at 3 years ago, you're just going to find yourself being exactly where it is that you want to be. But it feels like you're going to want to change your mind and do your regular Sagittarius, free-flowing, gain a new experience, but you're going to feel like you can't move. And that's going to be really hard on you guys. And this card looks kind of devastating, but for you guys, you know, the Ten of Swords is about our tendency to over-exaggerate. It shows like a dead man, but it's about you feeling like you're hitting a brick wall. And it's just about Spirit teaching you this major lesson of the major arcana, the Emperor. It's about taking control of your life. Being at home more, spending more time with your kids. And this is not saying that you're not doing that, but it's about the little things, because the fours are about foundations. And you see here he is, you know, he's standing on his foundation, his home where he is right now, but he's looking out into the distance. He wants to be somewhere else. And here he has what looks like a globe in his hand. So, you know, you guys are ruled by Jupiter, so you like to travel, even if it's just up the street. Or, you know, over your friend's house. You just like to be on the go. But the Knight of Pentacles is about, yeah, you're on the go, but you're going to have responsibilities that you got to take care of. Certain, you know, bills that you've been putting off may really kind of come back to bite you in the butt. A lot of things will come back to bite you guys in the butt if you don't take this year seriously and get your life together. Like the Emperor is advising for you to do, or else you're going to feel like the foundation that you were standing on, that you felt like was so great and so, I was like in support of your need to just be here and then be there and be everywhere else too. You're going to have to realize that you're going to have to stay where you are. So if you're at a job that you don't like, that's not about saying you're going to have to stay at the job. With Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings, it feels like you asked Spirit to send you something a while ago. It could have been a job. It could have been, you know, a spouse, whatever. You'll know what it is. In 2017, Spirit is just going to send it. There's no conversation that needs to happen, but maybe they already sent it in bits and pieces or something like that, with him holding this globe here and then him holding this pentacle. So you're holding something. It feels like it's already started, but it feels like that Sagittarius energy within you to take risks. And, you know, because this is in the past, this is your fire energy, the Two of Wands. This is about you being able to take risks and change your mind and go in a new direction. But Spirit is like, if you think you're going to be able to procrastinate and backpedal and be irresponsible and say, oh, well, this path that I chose, it's more difficult than I expected it to be. It is a little bit rewarding, but I kind of miss being able to just come and go as I please. I miss working at that other job, even though I didn't make a lot of money. But it gave me the freedom. Right now, I don't feel free. Right now, I don't feel like I'm able to get up off of this throne and just like go over there for a second. Many of you are going to receive the blessing that you've been asking for, but you're going to be a little ungrateful. That's what this Ten of Swords really feels like for me, with it being in the near future. Because here we've just got the guy with the Two of Wands. He's looking out into the distance. He's actively making his mind up. And this is what was in your past. But with you being a Sagittarius, you guys have all of these ideas. You're always focused on the bigger picture. That's what this globe in his hand is about. You focusing on the bigger picture. And you don't really like to get your hands dirty or your feet wet and meddle too much with the details. And this kind of represents, you know, Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign, and they focus on the little details. So with that knight, and then the message of knighthood popping up for you guys for 2017, and the overall energy of the Emperor, with him sleeping and having his hands full and feeling stressed, like, oh my God, this adult thing is just like a lot. It's rewarding. I have what it is that I need, but this feels very restricting. Spirit is saying you're going to have to change your perspective. Know that this is what you asked for, and now you have manifested it. And if you haven't manifested it, with this Magician being here, you can and will, whatever opportunity, whatever reality, whatever it is that you want this year. Spirit is going to teach you a valuable lesson in commitment. staying exactly where you are. So if you're feeling like you don't like your job and you want to change it, know that Spirit may make it a little difficult for you to just jump around from job to job. You're going to have to make your mind up. So follow your heart so that you won't end up, beating yourself up and feeling like you made the wrong decision, because you're going to, after you make your mind up, Spirit is going to expect you to stick with that decision and to make something out of it. And the Ten of Swords is about you just feeling absolutely devastated. Make sure you don't make the wrong decisions. Don't rush into making decisions either. Make impulsive decisions about your life this year. Be clear about what it is that you want, because you're going to feel that Saturn energy, the Emperor. Even if you look at this just feels heavy. It's serious. It's about being structured, being responsible, being in control and in charge of your life. And that is a responsibility that we all have as adults. We can't just be calling off work, just being all willy-nilly. The Four of Swords is about you needing to heal from certain things, and it is about you being a little tired and just feeling like, here I am in the house again. Again, you're going to be making money. You're going to be enjoying what it is that you do. I feel like you are going to be taking part in the blessing that Spirit is going to send you. And they're going to send you not just one thing. It's going to be a very fruitful, abundant, and it can be an exciting year. But I feel like with this Nine of Swords being here, and this Four of Swords, and this Ten of Swords in the near future, it just feels like, and then you having to take on the energy of the Knight of Pentacles, because I look at the Knights in the Tarot as how we're moving and shaking down here. Like if we were to see ourselves from the universe, this is how we're moving, this is how we're operating, or this is how we will need to operate in order to get what it is that this Knight is holding. And it's the Pentacle. So Spirit is wanting you to have your money right. Maybe money was a little tight in the past, but now you're kind of learning how to let go and let flow, and you're creating more abundance, especially with this Empress being here and this Magician being down there. It's about, being grateful, because things are going to be good, but I feel like you guys are just going to be wishing that you had that freedom that you once had when you were kind of in a tough spot. You were challenged and you were a little stressed about it at first, but you had the freedom to come and go as you choose, and to make your mind up, and then to change your mind if you want to. But now you're having to be this Knight of Pentacles. You're having to be studious and committed and dedicated and disciplined and tied down a little bit to routine. So this could be that job that you always wanted, or just something similar, and you're going to get it, and you're going to feel like, yes, this is my chance. I'm going in this direction, and it's going to work out like this. But this Ten of Swords in the near future is about it not working out the way that you think it's going to work out. That doesn't mean it won't work out in your favor. Focusing too much, or it just feels like you're a little bit overwhelmed and you don't know how to focus on the day-to-day of maintaining this blessing that you're going to receive. But I've got to move on, because I could talk about that all day, all month, all year. But Spirit, what do you want Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings to know about 2017? Thank you. We have what is already with you. So this is about them sending that blessing to you. Maybe they already did, and maybe you're not recognizing that there's an opportunity for you to change your life with what it is that you have in front of you. At the bottom of the deck, we have spirals of manifestation. Quit thinking that your life is over here. Like you got to dream, you got to conjure up all of these dreams, and you got to make all of these plans to do this in order to get there. Your life can be what you want it to be right here, right now. But you're going to have to learn how to commit to something. You have to stand on a firm foundation, and that foundation can't be money. It can't be this job, or it can't be this, ideal partner. This Two of Wands is about us looking out and saying and making decisions based on what feels right, and that's good. But with this Knight of Pentacles, it's like, okay, yeah, you decided that you want, this is an example, you would get your LLC, and you would be doing everything, but then and you would be making money with this Emperor being here, with this Four of Swords, with this Two of Pentacles, and this Empress being here. So things are moving and shaking. Things are moving. Things are growing. You're building. But it's a day in, day out kind of thing. And with this Ten of Swords being in the near future, it's about you feeling like you made the wrong decision. And Spirit is saying no. You're going to feel like you want to change your mind or head in a new direction, because here he's holding this wand, but he knows that he has he can just always kind of come back to square one and then, you know, reroute and go here if that works, because he's not really focused on the decision or making his mind up when it comes to which direction to go in, the bigger picture. And Spirit is saying you've got to get your head out of the clouds, and if you want to do it, you're going to have to work hard for it. And I think that many of you are used to things being handed to you. Not all of you, because that doesn't mean your life has been peachy keen, but you just have this easygoing kind of vibe about you. Manage to be okay with changing your mind if you want to change your mind, regardless of no regard for what the outcome will be, because you guys are optimistic. That is your virtue. But Spirit is saying that's cool and all, but you've got some work to do. And I think that with this Ten of Swords, you're going to feel like the universe is going to be whipping you into shape when it comes to taking control of your life and really doing what it is that you said you wanted to do, accomplishing that goal that you've been sitting on, you know, conjuring up that dream that you abandoned a while ago. It says what is already with you. Stop looking out into the distance over there and comparing yourself and comparing your life with someone else's life. Spirit is saying do something with what you have, because it's just as valuable. What you have right in front of you, right here, right now, what is already with you is all that you need to accomplish what it is that you want this year. But with this Ten of Swords, you guys are going to have a tendency to just overthink this thing throughout the year and just end up maybe even accomplishing something, because the overall energy is the Emperor. Your ego feels a bit banged up by the end of the year. Or this could just be, you know, with it being in the near future or the future position. It isn't a major arcana, and it is tied to the Wheel of Fortune. So does this feel like somebody who feels lucky and fortunate? The mind. And how it can be your greatest weapon or your greatest downfall. Spirit is not going to be playing any games with you. They're really tired of you saying what you're going to do and not moving your feet. You see how here he is on the porch right now, and then here he is having to get on that horse. It's about some of you who you know, heard the message about that gate being open. Spirit is saying you need to stop playing around. And they're going to make sure you know that you can't do that anymore. They're tired of you, not necessarily overthinking, but they're tired of you like changing your mind and being inconsistent. It's not that they want you to just be tied down to routines and to feel bogged down. They don't want you to end up at the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords is your decision. The Wheel of Fortune has been turning in your favor. But with you getting the Ten of Swords as opposed to the Ten of Cups or the Ten of Pentacles, it's about you focusing on the negative. And you maybe accomplishing something, but focusing way more on what you didn't or on what you weren't able to accomplish, as opposed to all the things that you can accomplish. But with this Knight of Pentacles being here, it's about reaping what you sow. The effort that you put in will determine the rewards that you receive. So you don't take up the energy of this Knight of Pentacles, being committed, being dedicated to this decision that you made, and not just being, you know, not just procrastinating and changing your mind every 5 seconds. You're going to end up at this point of the Ten of Swords feeling disappointed in yourself, feeling like you wasted the year. But ultimately, you will learn this lesson. If it means that you got to end up at the, you know, arrive at the point of the Ten of Swords to where you feel so down on yourself that you then look at 2018 like, okay, I learned my lesson. I have to get my stuff together. Many of you, with this being a 4, if you don't get your stuff together, this represents your home. This represents the things that make us feel grounded. And this is not bad news, but this is about you being capable. All you have to do is make your mind up, and it doesn't have to be this long, stressful journey. But I think that you guys are going to be just so focused on what is over there as opposed to what is already with you. And it's going to cause you, some of you guys, to miss out on certain blessings or feel like the Wheel of Fortune isn't turning in your favor, but it's always turning. Many of you guys are being more towards focusing on the negative because you aren't able to be as spontaneous or be as selfish this year. Selfish in a good way, though. You're having to take on certain responsibilities that aren't necessarily so fun, you know, and that's hard. And like I said, we have spirals of manifestation. Spirit wants you to see that your dream can come true. And they want you to stop playing around with it. They want you to stop trying to, you know, conjure up this big plan and think of the future. And they're saying focus more on the here and now. That's what the Pentacles energy is about. Here he is kind of looking out into the future. But in the present, there's things going, you know, he's having to commit himself. He's having to get his money right, pay off his debt. He's doing, you know, the routine, mundane things. Again, it's just, I'm feeling this real Virgo energy. But you can have the money that you need. This is why I'm like, whatever it is that you, if you make your mind up and commit to seeing this thing through, whatever you are deciding that you want. Because with this saying, what is already with you? You guys already know what I'm talking about. And it's not just some little thing of, oh, I want to lose about 15 pounds by April. No, they're saying think bigger. What is already with you? Like that dream that you've been sitting on. That degree you've always wanted. Like they're like, why are you just sitting around daydreaming or thinking that you've got to do A, B, C, and D to make it happen? Get started now. Yes, it's going to be a little difficult, a little challenging, because this does represent Capricorn too. So this is about, again, that energy of Saturn. You having to get serious. You having to do something with all of your gifts and your talents if you want to feel stable, feel grounded, and to feel confident when you get that call to go in for that interview, for that job that's a little more serious than something you've ever had in the past. Things are going to be good for you. So don't think that this year will be negative in any way, but approach this year with that same optimism, at the same time embracing the reality that you need to stay where you are. Well, first decide where you want to be, and then stay there and commit to making something out of that experience, making something out of yourself, doing something with that job, not just sitting there and just thinking like, okay, well, I got the job. It's about thinking about your future while actively pursuing your goals, not just sitting there thinking about it. You have to work towards it. That's what this Two of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and Ten of Swords is about. The Ten of Swords is about you being a little resentful. Because it's 10, so you are going to complete something. But it feels like it's just something about with this Emperor being here. And that message of what is already with you and spirals of manifestation. Again, I told you, you guys are being ordained. And the Emperor actually comes before the Hierophant, which is like the Pope of the Tarot. He's not involving himself in the fellowship of other people and communion. He's outside. He's dealing with the responsibilities of his life. He can't really go to the club as much as he used to. And he's not the same guy. That's not necessarily a mental breakdown or anything, but it's about you learning some tough lessons. These just feel like a lot of like the experiences that you're going to have, that by the time you end off the year, you're going to look back like, this shit was not easy, but you're going to accomplish it. Because I feel like with this message of the Hermit, Spirit is going to be whipping you into shape. They're like, you've got to get yourself together. You've got to get your life together. And it has to be you that has to do it. And usually you guys are okay with being like, you know, on your own. You love your freedom. But you're going to realize that, okay, you got that freedom for a reason. Jupiter is sending you that luck for a reason. You got to do something with it. And if you don't, you're going to end up at this point of the Ten of Swords feeling absolutely disappointed in yourself, devastated that you didn't even accomplish half of what you could have accomplished this year. So it's real make or break. You can decide how you want to learn the lesson, but Spirit is going to teach you the lesson of the Emperor. And it's that you've got to get your together. And you've got to take charge of your life, and you've got to be the head honcho of this thing. You got to stop being so naive. You got to stop being so afraid. It's like you guys aren't afraid to take risks, but you're afraid of commitment. Really speak to relationships too. Fear of commitment. Spirit, what do you want Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings to do in 2017? What action do you want them to take? Because they're really good at taking action, but it's about consistent, dedicated effort, that they're building up that muscle. What is it that you want them to do? Thank you. Love abounds. Didn't I say this has something to do with the relationship? But this is the Ace of Cups. It can have to do with a relationship. One that's serious though. You may meet a partner that they're just not playing with you. But the love is real. It's that love that you've been asking for. But this is love abound. Spirit is telling you to open up your heart. Listen to your heart and allow it to help you to make up your mind, because it's going to be a long road and it is going to be challenging, but you can accomplish what it is that you want. Don't focus too much on the financial outcome, because your money can be good, because Spirit is going to be whipping you into shape with that anyway. But the major lesson that you're going to have to learn is to follow your heart, because that's what's going to feed you, what's going to nurture you on this road of 2017. Because you're going to have to make up your mind and stick with it. So you might as well have some water with you, because you're not going to be able to just run back here and go do this and go do that. It's about having your ducks in a row. It's about being independent, relying on yourself, and getting out there and learning. Just this whole survival of the fittest. For many of you, even if you've never like traveled outside of your city, you're really just going to step into the full experience of why you are a Sagittarius. This Ace of Cups is about you guys needing to step outside of your comfort zone in some way. Even if you're the most spontaneous, adventurous person in the world, Spirit is saying you're not thinking big enough. It's like you're going to get what it is that you've been asking for. Whether you've been asking for it for 3 years, 3 months, or 3 days, you're going to get it. And you're going to have it. And then you're going to step into your usual Sagittarius thing, and you're going to want something new. This Ace of Cups as what you need to do. This is renewal of love. Following your dreams, following your heart, opening yourself up to a relationship. But it's almost, with this Ten of Swords, it just feels like too much of a good thing. But that's ultimately us feeling, it's just that self-sabotage that we tend to do. Follow your heart. By doing that, it'll be easier for you to say, okay, I'm finally going to do this thing. But not from a place of like wands, like the Ace of Wands, where like you just feel passionate and motivated. And not from the place of the Ace of Pentacles either, to where you feel like there's going to be some sort of long-term outcome or result in it, or reward for you. Spirit is like, this year does not have to be difficult. You'll turn it into a difficult year by not taking advantage of what's right in front of you. You can think about the future all day, but what you do today, your actual actions and the preparation and dedication and commitment or lack thereof, it determines the future. Not what's in your head. The decision is only step one. You have to put some work behind it. If you want that vision that you have within your head about the future to come true, you're going to have to do something about it right now. Many of you are just like staying where you are, and you're kind of addicted to the idea of fantasizing about a better future. And you know that if you really made your mind up, you can go get it in this year, next year, whenever. But many of you are just addicted to that feeling of thinking about the future. And that gives you hope to get up every day and to put up with that job that you hate, or to make the best out of this relationship until another one shows up, etc., etc. But Spirit is saying, if you don't do what you need to do right now, that thing that that future that you envision yourself living will not come to pass. It won't. You guys are just going to have to be more responsible this year. You're going to have to focus more on the day-to-day. It's okay to have your head in the clouds for a second so that you can listen to your heart. That's what Spirit is telling you to do. Love abounds. Trust your intuition when it comes to making your decisions. Don't really focus too much on what necessarily to the impulse of your desires. Just listen to your heart, because that's what's really going to feed you and guide you. So that even if you do arrive at this point of the Ten of Swords, you'll be able to heal. And you'll be able to face certain things, certain thoughts, fears, doubts, and challenges that you were probably running away from in the past. Because here he is, you know, choosing a path. And us, it's the Two of Wands. It's him making a decision based on what feels good to him. The choice that he feels like would work more in his favor. And this is about you going on that road, but realizing that you don't have this thing figured out. It goes back to that energy of being naive. It goes back to you just having to accept that this year is about you making up your mind and sticking with it. And if you don't make the right decision, if you don't follow your heart, you're going to end up disappointed. Okay? Spirit, what do you want Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings to know about their love life in 2017? Worth waiting for. It says divine timing is at work in your love life. Just keep walking. Take the long road. We have heart-to-heart conversation. It says honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So this is about skipping out on your partner and not, again, just being selfish. And it's just about maturing as a person and giving more of yourself on a emotional level to your partner. Being open to letting someone go if they're not on the same page as you. This year is just going to be a very, not even necessarily busy time, but it's just going to be a very eye-opening. You're just going to learn a major lesson in maturity. Even if you're like 72 or something, you're just going to realize that you don't have it all figured out, and that this little formula of optimism that you have, it's cool and all, but you've got to do something with it. And it's not saying that you guys haven't been doing anything with it, but they're wanting you to focus more on what is in your heart. And with this message of worth waiting for, divine timing is at work in your love life. Many of you may be feeling like this emperor who is having to be away from this empress. He still has a job to do, you know? And it's about you guys just feeling like, maybe with this Two of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, is about you looking out into 2017 and feeling like, okay, I am going to make my mind up. I'm going to follow my heart and I'm going to go in this direction. I know it's going to be a long road, but I don't have any regrets. So I'm just going to face these challenges and these obstacles right now. And, you know, hopefully it works out for the best. And that's the attitude of the Emperor. It's about, you know, having to put those emotions to the side and just take control of your life. Ace of Cups, love abounds. You're going to meet someone on this journey. Or you're going to feel, I don't know, it just feels like the way that these cards are set up, it feels like this is you looking, I don't know. It just feels like this is you and your mode of thinking. This almost feels like one message. But it can turn into this whole past, present, and future thing if you approach it or if you don't make the right decision. This can be your future. This can be, you know, this energy of disappointment, of not getting what you want, or just not, or missing out on certain blessings and just feeling disappointed in yourself and depressed, and, you know, and just feeling like this year is just so boring and there's so much work that you have to do to actually like get what it is that you want, and it never used to be like that. Like, have I made the wrong decision? And many of you, this is why you're procrastinating, because you're thinking of the worst case scenario, when all you have to do is put in the work, do what it is that you really want, with this Ace of Cups being here. And this, like I said, this is the cup, so it does pertain to love. So in a way, this pertains to like your entire life. That's what this Emperor is about. Stop thinking of the worst case scenario. This is life. So yes, you're going to have challenges, but this is like way too much. Like, you are... But it feels like what's make or break is this Knight of Pentacles right here. So, because this is what Spirit is telling you to do. To take your time. Don't rush into anything. That has to do with a relationship worth waiting for. Many of you, you know, just make wiser decisions this year. Don't think that what you want is not going to come just because it's taking a long time. It will take a while. Like I said, you may receive some sort of blessing or some sort of opportunity that you asked for a while ago, but because you're a Sagittarius, you've probably grown a lot since then. Even if it was like 3 weeks ago. It's just about that Sagittarius vibe within you to just make your mind up and want to do this, but then want to do that. Not in this like inconsistent kind of way, but just in this excitement and optimism about the future. Excitement about the freedom that you do have to change your mind. But Spirit is like, nah, stick with this. You're gonna, it almost feels like, it feels like for most of you, you're gonna want to choose this path, but Spirit is gonna be like, no, go in this direction. And it's gonna, you're gonna feel that seriousness of the Emperor. kind of shining down on you. Like, and that's why many of you are kind of looking out into the distance, looking out into the future, because that's what he's doing. And it's like he's peering out into the future and seeing this Ten of Swords. So he's thinking like, I don't know, I don't want to choose that path, let me choose this. And Spirit is going to be like, no. And with this energy of worth waiting for, they've got something better than what it is that you're asking for, better than what it is that you're going after, better than your ex, better than what you think you're walking away from. But you're looking in the wrong direction. Spirit is going to reroute you, because again, they're teaching you a major lesson when it comes to being mature, taking control of your life, making wiser decisions, and just becoming the adult version of yourself that doesn't make impulsive decisions when they know that this is the route that they need to take. You're going to, and many of you, you're going to be a little hard-headed, and you're going to try to avoid certain challenges this year. We all do, but it's just no way around it, because Spirit is trying to get you the love that you deserve. And so many of you, you're going to have to be, you know, single this year. Maybe you're looking out with this Two of Wands, feeling like, yeah, this is going to be the year. I know I'm going to find somebody. Or maybe with him holding the globe, maybe you felt like you found the one. And you're going to feel like, yeah, this is it. But it's going to take a while. The Knight of Pentacles is like, he's not the most romantic of the knights. He's not the knight in shining armor. He shows up. He's consistent. He's practical. He gets up. He goes to work in the morning. He might buy you something nice, but he can't be on the phone with you all night because he has stuff to do. And he really isn't trying to like fill your head with all of these things, because really he's not sure. He's looking for somebody that's on his same level. He's going places, and he's not rushing to go to places. So the energy that you're going to take on. So this is a good message. Many of you are going to like hold out for the one. Many of you are just tired of like running into this whole, you know, the Emperor is looking for his Empress. So whether you're a woman or a man, it's about you being ready to settle down. Now also, the message of worth waiting for is about the importance of knowing that, okay, you may be dealing with the soulmate, you may meet your soulmate, but that it's not just going to be this cotton candy and roses kind of experience. You have to be open to all of it. So this year is going to be about living a full life and not just focusing all of your energy on one area. And as a Sagittarius, that's something that you like, because that gives you that energy, that feeling of freedom. But it feels like your energy is going to have to be turned to a lot of important areas of your life, and it's not just going to be this willy-nilly kind of experience. You're going to have to apply a lot of mature energy. You're going to have to get serious. Now, again, it's not going to be all bad, because, again, we've got the Knight of Wands popping up, so it can be fun. It can be liberating. This year is about building up your confidence, because Spirit with this Ten of Swords in the near future is wanting you to see that something is not as bad as you think it is, and that if you've been having, if it's taking you a long time to get to where you want to be, this year is about you arriving at that point, and you, and Spirit kind of building up your, willpower. And that part of you that is afraid to commit, they're going to be working on that. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't think that love is just never going to come, because like I said, these cards are set up. It looks like you're looking out into the future, and you have like these gloomy thoughts, and Spirit is like, there's nothing that you feel like that you should feel like you have to work towards. You have everything that you need right here in front of you. Experience the love that you want, that job that you want. It's about just working at it constantly. And for many of you, that's going to be like a different experience. Not saying that everything in life is just handed to you because you're a Sagittarius. It's just about you. But I feel like 2016 has taught you this, really, like that good things come to those who wait. And I think with this Ten of Swords in the future, it's about you finally learning that lesson. And realizing that we're all going to hit rock bottom a million times in this lifetime. But it's to teach you lessons. And it's to show you that certain things are not as scary as we think they are. Because look at this. Again, the Ten of Swords is about us just feeling like the world is just this big, scary place. And all of these things just keep happening to us. And I feel like with it being in the near future, with the overall energy of the Emperor, you're like, man, I got this. And when you step into 2018, you're going to be like, if I made it through 2017, and I don't think that this year is going to be very tumultuous. It's just going to be about you needing to commit. And that if you don't commit, you'll experience extreme failure. But that's life. But I feel like for Sagittarius, that's going to be your experience in 2017. And with this message of worth waiting for, it's about also the importance of not, you know, if you're a very spiritual person, and let's say you come across somebody and you just immediately identify them as a soulmate for whatever reason. And sometimes, you know, you guys really just, we just get too far out when it comes to thinking everybody is a soulmate because it feels good. And it's okay. I love that we're all opening up to that energy. But everybody you meet that makes you laugh and that makes your heart skip a beat is not your soulmate. So Spirit is saying it's worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Focus on what it is that is the most important right now. If you need more money, work on that. If you need a better job, work on that. Go back to school or something like that. Really just focus on bigger picture. Focus on what's right in front of you. Put your head in the clouds just to gain inspiration, but come back down to earth and start working on it so that you don't run into this failure and this ultimately accomplishing or achieving what it is that you want but feeling like you don't deserve it. Prepare for it. Get ready for it, because what you've been asking for is on the way. Or 2017 is about you getting it, but that being the first step, you having to work hard to maintain it, but how ultimately that will build up your self-confidence. That will show you that you're a lot stronger than you. I think that most of you, or many of you, do connect to the idea of soulmates. It just depends on what you believe in, because you are a Sagittarius, so you are open-minded when it comes to certain things. But I just feel like this year you're not going to be really wrapped up into any kind of fairy tales about love. And I think that that's because maybe you've had, you know, a lot of difficulties, like kind of back to back, especially with that Saturn being in Sagittarius. You know, so it could have just been near like your sun in astrology, or just in the sky. So it's just creating this kind of tug of war within you to just mature and to grow up, and just seeing relationships kind of crumble to the ground, and realizing that you got to do a lot by yourself, because as a Sagittarius, you know, you're the archer, you're the traveler. You're supposed to go out there far beyond the distance of what other people can do, and sometimes that can get a little lonely. And I think that's what this Ten of Swords is about. And with Spirit saying worth waiting for, know that they've got your back. They are going to send you someone who will be there for you when you get home, when you go on this long journey, whether it is mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, career-wise, financially, whatever. Many of you are going to have to are going to have to get used to the fact that your life is a long road, that, you know, you're going to have to come and go a lot, but it's not always going to be this fun, you know, this fun experience. Sometimes you're going to have to learn a few lessons, and you're going to have to come back to square one and start all over again, and know that, okay, now that path wasn't the right one. I took that and I learned that wasn't it. So I'm going to change my focus to this over here. It's just about succeeding, failing, and then winning again. That's what 2017 is about, Spirit. What is Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising life path? Know that love is coming. Know that you can use the energy of 2017 to manifest that career that you've always wanted, to do what you love, even if it's not your full-time income. The Ace of Cups is just about a renewal of love, feeling at peace, at home, feeling like the world isn't such a bad place after all. Learning. And I feel like this Ten of Swords is you learning the error of your ways too, as the energy of the near future. So 2017 is about teaching you the error of your ways, more so in the past. And Spirit giving you, not necessarily a second chance, but just a chance to just do things right. But they're not going to shield you from challenging experiences. So just be open to learning. And don't choose a path, or choose a job, or choose a partner just because you feel like it's going to be easy, because of this Ten of Swords being here, with the Knight of Pentacles being here, and the message of love abounds and worth waiting for, and what is already with you, and this Emperor. It's about you needing to make a mature and wise decision. And, you know, if you take the easy route, you're not going to learn anything. And you're not going to get much out of it either. You're going to miss the lesson and the blessing. So that's what this Ten of Swords is about. You're going to learn it, but you're going to miss out. You will potentially miss the blessing that this lesson was going to bring to you. Now, your life path for 2017, we have travel. It says your life path, or your life purpose, involves traveling. Now, obviously, this is just perfect, and y'all saw that it fell out. But at the bottom of the deck, it says let go. Walk away from this situation in order to resolve it. So stop complaining. Quit feeling like the world is not going to support you with what it is that you want to do. They already heard you. What is already with you? You already have what you need to get started. I don't know why you're just sitting there waiting. Go out there and do what it is that you need to do. Travel. This can obviously represent physical travel. Again, it goes back to what I said in the beginning of the video. You guys learning how to come more into your Sagittarius energy, because I'm really tuning into him holding this globe. And that just signifies like travel. And it's about going beyond your comfort zone. Stop saying what you're going to do and actually taking up the energy of the Knight of Pentacles and getting it done. No matter how long it takes and no lessons you have to learn and how many challenges you have to face. It's about walking up to it anyway and learning how to take control of the situation. Again, Spirit is saying let go. This year is about letting go. Now, obviously, this is your life purpose, so this is going to manifest in different ways for you guys. But because you're all going to have individual experiences that are going to teach you tough lessons when it comes to detaching, letting go. We got the major arcana, Justice, and we have the base chakra. So this is and the Nine of Swords, darkest fears. Now I got to show you this because Spirit is really sending a message. So this is about letting go. Again, let go. Walk away from this situation in order to resolve it. So this could be your family. This could be that job that's kind of holding you back. With this message of travel being your life purpose, it's about moving on, Sagittarius. It's about going after it. Stop planning. Stop waiting. Go for it. And you see he has his laptop while he's at the airport. So it's about multitasking. It's about knowing that you can do it all. Don't think that, oh, well, how can I go back to school because then I'm not going to have... Spirit is like, I don't want to hear any more complaining out of you guys. You guys need to just go and do it. Because what you want is at the end of this road and more. So just stop waiting around. I know you're scared. The Nine of Swords is about having to face your darkest fears of walking away from what it is that you've known. This could have been a relationship. It could have been your hometown. Anything. It's just feeling like this year is just pulling you out of yourself, and you're being met with all of these amazing opportunities. And it's not that all of you are going to feel like you don't deserve it, but it's like you're just more about, am I ready for this? And with that energy of being ordained, yes, you are. And it's okay that you're going to be afraid. Know that this is about you landing exactly where you need to be in life. This is going to be a very enlightening and healing year for you guys. This is about you guys realizing that whatever it is that you want this year, logically and practically, can be accomplished. But most likely practically. It's more about what you're doing with your time. And it's about you guys learning how to think outside of the box, think bigger, especially with this lesson of travel. You can do it, Sagittarius. Whatever it is, you can start over again. You can meet somebody new. You can move into that new city. You can go after that new job, and you can keep applying. You're probably going to have to apply, you know, a few times before you get it, but you will get it. And when you do, don't waste your time overthinking it and feeling like, oh, I'm not ready, you know, this is too much commitment. You're going to have to face your fear of commitment, because Spirit is trying to get you to get your life together, get that foundation in order so that you can begin to grow, so that you can begin to actually travel this beautiful world. Not saying all Sagittarius want to travel, but every Sagittarius I've met, they either know about other things, places, and cultures of the world, even if they've never left their city or their town, like they just know. But every Sagittarius I've ever met and spoken with has wanted more out of life, and I think that that's what this is about. And Spirit is saying it doesn't matter what you went through. With this message of let go and travel, you can do it now. That door is open for you now. It's been open for you. But this year is a pivotal year when it comes to you kind of conscious awakening that these doors are open, and that if I just move my feet, I can walk through them. And the Ten of Swords is about being like scared of all the things that could go wrong, and feeling like, oh my God, what if I made the wrong decision? There's no such thing as a wrong decision. Every experience, whether good or bad, will teach you a lesson that will get you closer and closer to where it is that you want to be. So don't worry too much about if you're going to make the wrong decision. Yes, you're going to make the wrong decision. And then you're going to learn, and then you're going to reroute, and then you're going to end up where you want to be. right on his throne as the emperor. And when you do land there, know that that's a responsibility, that you have been ordained. That this throne that you're going to land on, this could be a new job, this could be a new relationship, this could be, you know, having that degree finally. It's just finding your place in the world and making it your home. That's what 2017 is about. And know that when you do find that place, that this is yours. That Spirit did all this work to get you here. Don't ruin it. Don't start beating yourself up and talking down on yourself. I just feel like this Ten of Swords is about you needing to learn to do what's best for you. I think that that's going to be the hardest thing. Because usually you're okay with like separating yourself, you know, detaching yourself to like gain a new experience. But I always make sure that I come back to, you know, my friends, my family, my this, my that. But you do enjoy your time alone, and you have your own mind and your own thoughts and your own ideas that you don't mind exploring on your own. But it feels like this year, it's like you have to explore these new things. You're going to have to look at it less from a perspective of it being too much of a good thing, and being something that you're just absolutely ready for. Don't question it. Don't doubt it. Spirit is saying, come to life. This is you now. You've grown. You evolved. Don't feel like you got to be the same person that you were before. If you want more out of life and it sounds a bit outlandish, hell, that's because it's something that you're supposed to do and that you can do on your own. Travel. Go out there and get it. And when you get out there and you grab it, don't be afraid of what's going to happen next. That's irrelevant. Just keep moving your feet. You've got this. That's what 2017 is going to teach you. Spirit, what is your final message of advice for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for 2017? Siege, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So this is about making up your mind. We've got a message from the goddess Artemis. It says, Guardian, you and your loved ones are safe and spiritually protected. So know that when that job calls you, go for it. Don't say you're going to be there and then, you know, and then stay up all night thinking like, do I really want this? Maybe I should keep my job. No, you go for it. And don't worry too much about if you're going to get it. That's what this message of quiet time is about. It's about worrying less about how something will work out in the end. And it's about just using what you have right in front of you. Using it more on the present. And using your energy wisely. And learning how to just stop psyching yourself out about everything. Know that you got this, Sagittarius. Use that gift of gab to get what it is that you want. It's time for you to take control of your life. It's time for you to be more independent. And it's time for you to sit up on this throne. And face the reality that it's time for you to do something for yourself. Accomplish something for yourself. Like many of you are just going to realize that you're way too wrapped up. With this message of siege, quiet time, you're going to have a lot of ideas coming to your head. A lot of, you know, your intuition is going to be speaking to you in a very serious way. And even if you're not like a super spiritual person, just that Sagittarius, Jupiterian energy is just going to really be, create this desire within you to go beyond where you are right now. And siege is about not panicking. Relax, meditate. Don't feel like you got to rush. Slow down, Sagittarius. This achievement for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Risings in 2017 is going to be self-empowerment. And with that, you can do whatever it is that you want. But you're going to have to slow down, plan it out. And when you do accomplish it, and as you go on this journey and you feel like you're alone and you feel like you're, you know, this night just out conquering all this stuff, the Ten of Swords is about you being like, man, was this really worth it? Yes, it's worth it. Even if you feel like you don't have much to show for it, that part is on you. Because with this Knight of Pentacles, I just think about this energy with this Knight of Pentacles for you guys as somebody who loses their job or something, and instead of going to go apply for another job, they take some money out of that last check and they invest it in a business. And they're scared and they don't know how it's going to work out, but they keep working at it. And eventually they land at this 10 of Swords. This is about them looking back and saying, this was hard as hell. And ultimately arriving at this point of saying, okay, but I did it. I faced this fear. And that could be about them just saying, okay, but I'm about to go get me a job because this was just way too hard. But it's about you facing something that seemed so horrifying, so, you know, just so, just facing your greatest fears. And that's why Spirit is saying, shh. She's almost like this little angel in your dream. She's trying to tell you, it's going to be a little rough. It's going to be a little rocky. But you're going to get through it. And you will. This, I don't know. I just see this as absolute mastery. You will get what it is that you want. You will figure it out. But 2017 is about you guys needing to make your mind up. And then once you do receive that blessing you've been asking for, don't psych yourself out. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to do things the right way, because you're going to make 1,001 mistakes. But the end result will be the same. Success. Having your life in order and feeling like I can do this whole living adult thing. And about 2017 is about you looking back in retrospect and seeing that I've been through a lot. I faced a lot of challenges, a lot of my fears, a lot of obstacles that I felt like I could never overcome. And the Emperor is about somebody who's been through it all, but they're still here. And that the world, man, it just can't knock them down. Not for too long. This makes me feel good. I've got to go and move on to the next video. Bye, Sagittarius. Good luck.